Raw heat meets American steel, burning impurities away until only the strongest alloy remains forged to endure the absolute hell of modern combat. Molten rivers flow into the molds, cooling into the cylindrical heart of the weapon, a cold hammer forged barrel built for rapid fire. Sparks fly like shrapnel as the drop hammer smashes down, compressing the grain structure to handle 50,000 pounds of intense chamber pressure. This isn't just metal, it is the backbone of the infantry born in fire and sweat, tempered to survive the harshest environments on Earth. CNC machines scream against the aluminum blocks, carving out the upper and lower receivers with microscopic precision that no human hand could match. Inside the bore, the chrome lining is applied while the button rifling twists the steel to spin every round for lethal long-range accuracy. We mill the rails deep and sharp, creating the mounting points for optics and lasers, turning a simple rifle into a modular weapon system. Every burr is smoothed out, every pinhole drilled to exact tolerance, ensuring the bolt carrier group glides like ice on a frozen lake. Hands covered in grease snap the polymer furniture onto the frame, locking the telescoping stock into place for close quarters or long shots. The buffer tube spring slides in with a distinct metallic ring ready to absorb the recoil of thousands of rounds sent downrange. We attach the pistol grip and the handguards, shielding the operator's hands from the heat of the barrel during sustained, high-intensity automatic fire. It starts looking like a weapon, now a black silhouette of freedom pieced together by American labor to defend the Constitution against all enemies. The range goes hot as we load the first magazine, racking the charging handle back to feed a live round into the hungry chamber. Brass flies through the air as the trigger breaks, sending copper-jacketed lead downrange at 3,000 feet per second with zero hesitation. We run it wet and we run it dirty, pushing the cycle rate to the limit to ensure it never jams when lives matter. Every switch is flipped, every safety checked, guaranteeing that when the trigger is pulled, the weapon speaks with distinct and undeniable authority. The smell of gunpowder lingers as we wipe it down, coating the internals in oil before sealing it away in the heavy crate. Stacked in rows like a soldier's in formation, these crates are ready to be shipped out to the front lines of democracy's global defense. From the foundry floor to the hands of a warfighter, this carbine is a promise of overwhelming firepower delivered in a compact package. The lid is nailed shut, sealing the finished product, a dormant beast waiting to be unleashed wherever the fight for freedom is hottest. Heavy diesel engines idle in the loading bay as forklifts stack the wooden crates high, preparing to ship violence to the front. Every single crate represents a squad of soldiers who are depending on our craftsmanship to come home alive when the smoke clears. We stake the gas keys with hydraulic pressure, permanently locking the screws so the bolt carrier never fails under extreme vibration or heat. The magazine well is broached with a massive cutter shearing away aluminum to ensure the ammunition feeds smoothly during the chaos of war. Hard coat, anodizing tanks bubble with acid growing a protective skin of aluminum oxide on the receivers to stop rust and corrosion cold. Laser beams burn the government markings deep into the magazine well, stamping the property of the United States onto the cold, hard metal. Quality control inspectors use go and no-go gauges, checking the headspace tolerances down to the thousandth of an inch for absolute safety. If a single part fails the inspection, the entire batch is pulled, melted down, and cast back into the fire to start over. The flash hider is torqued onto the barrel threads, designed to suppress the muzzle blast and keep the soldier hidden in the dark. Inside the trigger group, the disconnector is polished to a mirror shine, ensuring a crisp break that allows for precise and lethal shots. We test the autosar mechanism, verifying the rapid-fire rhythm that suppresses the enemy while spitting lead at a terrifying and rapid rate. The charging handle latch is tested for tension, ensuring the operator can rack the bolt back even with gloves soaked in thick mud. Heavy plastic bags are sealed around the rifle, strapping the preservation oil inside to protect the steel during long months of storage. The second packs are thrown into the crates to absorb moisture, fighting the humidity that tries to eat away at the weapon's metal sole. The factory whistle blows, signaling the end of the shift, but the furnaces keep burning, hungry for more steel and more production. A new crew steps onto the floor, ready to take up the hammer and continue the endless work of arming the free world. This is not just a job. It is a duty to the flag, forging the tools that guard the iron gates of liberty. The M4A1 is more than a sum of its parts. It is the reliable partner that never sleeps and never quits fighting. From the heat of this dirty foundry to the heat of battle, the connection is unbroken, welded together by American grit and resolve. As long as there are enemies threatening our way of life, these machines will keep running and the sparks will keep on flying. Stainless steel gas tubes are bent to shape the lungs of the system, channeling white-hot pressure back to cycle the bolt carrier group. We pin the gas block onto the barrel with heavy steel drift pins, ensuring it never shifts even under the wildest automatic fire. The bolt carrier is machined from carpenter steel, heavy and dense, capable of stripping a fresh round from the mag without ever failing. A magnetic particle inspection scans the bolt for invisible cracks, using ultraviolet light to reveal any weakness hidden deep within the atomic structure. Firing pins are chromed and polished the tip, designed to strike the primer with enough kinetic energy to ignite the gunpowder every time. The extractor claw is fitted with a heavy spring, an insert grabbing the spent casing rim to rip it out of the chamber. Ejectors are tested for spring tension, ensuring the hot brass is thrown clear of the port so the next round can feed cleanly. We drop the upper receiver onto the lower, pushing the takedown pins through marrying the two halves into one solid piece of weaponry. Every spring, every detent, and every roll pin plays a critical role in the symphony of destruction that this machine is built for. High-speed cameras capture the cycle rate, watching the bolt unlock and recoil in milliseconds, verifying the timing is perfect for combat operations. We submerge a test sample in saltwater tanks, speeding up corrosion to prove our coatings can survive amphibious landings and coastal warfare operations. Sand is poured into the action, grinding against the moving parts, proving that grit and filth cannot stop the American warfighter from firing. The final stamp is a seal of approval, a guarantee that this rifle will function when the world is burning down around it. Forklifts groan under the weight of palletized crates, lifting the arsenal onto the loading dock where the transport trucks are waiting in line. Heavy chains lash the cargo down, securing the lethal payload for the long haul across the highway to the military supply depots. These aren't just crates of steel and plastic, they are the distinct thunder of freedom arriving to push back against the encroaching darkness. The driver gears down and the convoy rolls out, carrying the weight of national security on 18 wheels of black rubber and diesel. Behind us, the foundry floor is already resetting raw materials, moving into position to start the violent birth of the next 1,000 rifles. The fire never goes out, the machines never stop spinning, and the hammer never stops falling as long as the orders keep coming. This is the industrial heartbeat of the nation, pumping iron and firepower into the veins of the army that stands guard over us.